Hey guys, I just wanted to bring a quick review here of the Omen Max 16. This is the Best Buy edition. It has the 2 terabyte drive, a 275 HX CPU, and a 5080 graphics card. Okay, it's all plugged in right now, and look, overall, I really like this computer, okay? But it's not perfect. It's really hard to find a perfect computer nowadays. Now, I don't know if I'm just spoiled by the AMD 9800 X3D CPU, but, I mean, it's a huge difference, guys. Huge difference. And I believe that this CPU bottlenecks the GPU, okay? And two great examples is Fortnite and World of Warcraft. Okay, now World of Warcraft, I mean, that's a very old game, yes. But guys, I get 50 FPS in the main cities. And guys, this is with me toning down the graphics. Okay. I'll show you all this real quick here. So, this is Fortnite. We have ray tracing enabled. Okay, we're running at native resolution here with DLSS set to quality. Otherwise, it just doesn't look good. Shadows are in medium. Ray tracing on high just because I can't, I love it. And view distance is far. This has a big impact on the CPU. That's why I put that on far instead of epic. Textures, effects on medium because bursts of effects will create lag spikes on the FPS. Post-processing on high, hardware ray tracing, okay? Now, the game performs pretty well here, okay? It performs very well here, but look at this. 95% utilization on the CPU and the GPU 91%. That is this worries me a little bit that we are already pushing the CPU to 100% here. I'll give you an example, and this kind of weirded me out a little bit. If you go on Cinebench benchmarks, if you look at Cinebench benchmarks, this CPU has great multi-threading performance. Okay, and yes, Epic Games, most game logic mainly runs on single thread, but this is a very well optimized game, Fortnite. Okay, it uses all threads. Every core is being used right now. Okay, everything, the efficiency cores and the performance cores. Now, okay, I know this is a desktop class CPU, but I mean, when I'm playing Fortnite here, I'm using 50 to 60 percent. Here, it's 100% at all times. I'm about to die. 1 second. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hang on. Let me run away. Sorry, guys. Hang on. Whee! But look how good that runs. I mean, it runs great. It runs really great. And I'll tell you what. I'm pleasantly surprised with the temperatures. It usually stays at 83 degrees Celsius. I don't know why today it's a little bit higher than usual. Let's just go try to hide in this. Let's go hide in here. Okay. Just gonna chill here real quick. Anyway. Now that we entered the tunnel, you can see that it went down a little bit here, the CPU demand, which is pretty nice. But honestly, guys, last night as I was playing, I didn't even hit 90 degrees Celsius. I was mainly just at around 83, 84 at all times. So I'm actually kind of surprised that today we're hitting 90. That is new. Anyway, and I also capped the FPS to 120 just to help out the computer a little bit. I mean, but it never really goes above that too much. So it runs Fortnite pretty well if you adjust those settings there. You have to do that, otherwise it won't. Look, okay, all the reviewers I've been watching say it doesn't get hot up here. Guys, it gets hot up here, okay? And I totally get it. This is a small... This is in between a thin and light and a desktop replacing a laptop. I love this thing. I love the way it looks. I love the industrial design, and the size is just fine. Okay, now these components are right under the keyboard. It's gonna get hot. My hands got hot. It got a little uncomfortable yesterday. Granted, I didn't have the AC on. Okay, so it was 77 degrees in here, and I'll actually tell you my temperature right now. We're looking at 77 degrees Fahrenheit in here right now. Okay, guys, this computer puts out a lot of wind. I mean, it's moving a lot of air, guys. It's moving a lot of air. It's pretty incredible. We're just going to go into the storm and die here because I want to pull up World of Warcraft to show you guys a little bit. But you see now we're at 62%. It's pretty nice. And guys, I understand that there's rasterization that happens. Okay, I'm sorry. Shaders are rasterized when you first install the game and boot it up or update a driver or whatever. Everything is rasterized here. Okay, everything is rasterized here. It stays in between 70 to 100. Okay, 70 to 100. That's usually what it stays at, the CPU. I don't think I opened my task manager. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, very, look, it runs great, but it just does worry me that we're already at this level of CPU utilization here. Okay, so now let's open up World of Warcraft. I don't know if you guys can hear that. No coil whine whatsoever, and the fan noise is really chill. Doesn't bother me at all. There's no high pitched fan noise. Very nice. Okay, they've really done a great job with these fans. They move an insane amount of air. It's incredible. Now, one thing, okay, I have for my desktop, I have this OLED right here, okay, and I have it in sRGB mode. It's fantastic, looks beautiful. This is in wide gamut mode, and they don't give you an option to switch this. Apparently they do on other Omen laptops, but not on this one, so I don't think they got around to it yet. It might come in an update, but if I keep this laptop, I will find a way to get the color gamut tuned towards the sRGB space where the colors aren't too saturated. That bothers me a lot. Anyway, and then here I got my Omen wallpaper. Look, that's beautiful wallpaper. This thing is just gorgeous. Okay, look, the package itself, the laptop itself is fantastic. Okay, the speakers are okay. They're just okay. They get the job done. They're not bad, but they're okay. All right. That little noise you heard there is it switching back to Optimus from the dedicated GPU. Another thing I like about this is that now HP gives you the option to set a charge limit. See, I'm at 80% here. Very important, very nice. Because these bad boys, they stay plugged in most of the time. The battery mainly acts as a UPS. Something that drives me crazy about this laptop, though, is that, for its price, $3,300, they put a plastic trackpad. That drives me crazy. It is not the same. Look, the trackpad, just like the speakers, it's okay. It gets the job done. But a glass trackpad with maybe Windows Precision, really, it gets super close to Apple experience with the MacBooks. Pretty nice. Just to show you guys what performance settings we were on, I keep it easy. It's on performance. I highly recommend you update the system when when you set up the computer, make sure everything gets up to date, is updated. That's very important. Here, none of this is really used. I measured the power coming out of this cable here. On the wall outlet, you're looking at 250 watts to peak 280 watts. The brick itself goes to 330 watts, so that's pretty good. The lighting, I do not recommend you install this. There's a button here to install this Light Studio thing. I don't recommend it. It messed up the lighting for me. I had to uninstall it to get it work properly again. And yeah, performance mode is great. I did not really notice any performance increase in Unleashed mode. When playing video games, the CPU is being fed about 70 to 75 watts. Very respectable. And the GPU is getting around 140 to 150 watts, okay? Now, to what worries me the most. Let's head that way right now. So let's boot up World of Warcraft. Now, before, so it just switched over to the GPU graphics card. So before I got the X3D chip on the desktop, I used to have a 5950X CPU. No 3D V-Cache, right? Well, it turns out one of the games I played the most... Okay, this is kind of cringe. Okay, yeah, all my characters are called Taylor Swifty. It's just for the lulz, all right? Please don't hate on me. Anyway, guys, World of Warcraft is an old game, and you would think that this modern 2025 CPU would kill it. Well, it doesn't. Let me show you. Dude, what the fuck is that? Okay, shut up. Oh my god. Okay, so hang on. Let's go towards the wall here, and I'm gonna turn on the FPS counter here. All right, 144 FPS, awesome. I actually set that cap. I set a 144 FPS cap. These are my settings. Shadows are on good, liquid detail high, These allow me to be playable in the big city. View distance to 4. Environment detail to 7. Ground color to 10. So these are my settings. There's the running at native. Okay. Well, look at this. The moment you go into the big city here, there you go, getting 80. Just because I'm recording this, actually the FPS is better. That's crazy. Yeah, so I'm actually getting pretty decent FPS right now. But what I see here regularly is 60 FPS. Let me fly in and out of the city real quick to see if that changes anything. Just 1 second, because this is really important, and I get how bad this review is, but this is just for the aficionados. Just give me a second. Back outside now. Let's go into the city. Very good FPS right now. Okay, here we are. Now we're back to 60 FPS. Well, now we're at 70 again. Well, I'm not sure what's going on. I usually get 60 in this area here. I will continue to test this, but I've been playing this for 2 days straight, and I always get around 60 FPS in here. And if the settings are maxed out, it's actually kind of worse. But hey, what do you know? That's interesting. Anyway, so yeah, World of Warcraft depends a lot on 3D V-Cache. So let's say that this is usually what I would get here in this city. Well, that would be fine. I think I wouldn't be too worried. But since I was hitting around 70, sometimes 50 FPS when flying over the city, I'm thinking that I might want a CPU with 3D V-Cache on it. I don't know. I have Best Buy Plus, so I got 2 months to try this out. But I do plan on keeping the laptop. Now, if I can get my hands on a 9955HX CPU laptop with a 5080, I will try to get that either through Amazon. Probably Amazon. That's where I would try to get it from. I'm going to test all this out. and see if it makes much of a difference. I wanted to make a video all in one go, but I might need to do some more testing. But you got a good sense of the performance that this machine has to offer. Look, it's a really nice laptop. I really like it. Nothing's perfect though. Again, it gets very hot in the keyboard area. Your hand will get hot. Yesterday I was looking for metal objects to hold to transfer the heat from my body over to play again. Trackpad is plastic, but it's okay, gets the job done. So do the speakers. This has a really cool feature called HyperX that allows you to plug in a HyperX mouse or a headset without any dongles. That's awesome. I actually really think that's cool. And battery life, guys, forget it. The battery on this thing is mainly for UPS purposes only. You'll get about 2 hours of battery life on this. Okay, 2 to 3 hours of battery life on this. Now, if you put it in power saving mode, you might get a little bit more, but I wouldn't hold my breath. Okay. But yeah, just a little bit more walking around here, and we can go to Goldshire. 1 second. Okay, so here we are flying over Stormwind. Now here we have 140 FPS, but now wait a second until we get to Goldshire. There's a lot going on over there. And here we are. Okay, so a lot of players here. Just lagged a little bit. That's fine. Now that is not something I noticed on the desktop. Again, I think the 3D V-Cache has a huge part in that. But we're actually getting surprisingly good FPS here. We're looking at 90 to 100. That is fine. It's usually worse than that. But again, I'm going to keep testing this out. Oh my god, that's really loud. Sorry. Let me lower the volume here. Look how cool that is. I like that feature there. Let's go in Goldshire here. Oh yeah. A lot of weird stuff going on in here. A lot of players. And we got 75 in here. But yeah. So that's Fortnite and World of Warcraft for you. I think that they are great examples of performance metrics. I mean, look at this. We're using 45% of the GPU, guys. 45% of the GPU. Okay. CPU, we're using 21%. However, in its single-threaded, single-core processing, it's maxed out. It's maxed out. And that 3D V-Cache, since World of Warcraft, it's an old game, it's still on an old engine. Its game logic goes completely through a single core for the core functionalities of the game. Yes, they've added a few other functionalities off. They offloaded a few functionalities off of it over to other threads, other cores. In this case, this has no threads. This computer doesn't have any threads. It only has cores, okay? So it has, like, I think 16 E-cores and 8 performance cores. So when you have that V-cache on the die of the CPU, those in the instruction stack for that one core that the game is using is extraordinarily fast, and it just, you know, it's just on another planet. All right, so now I hopped on to my desktop so we can see the performance difference here. And of course, I do want to preface. I do want to say that we let's do that to good. That's what it is on the other computer, and then this is on 4. This is on 7. Yeah. Okay, and there we are with 130 FPS. So we're looking at 40 extra FPS because of the CPU. Okay, and this is not a multi-thread thing or multi-core thing. It's the speed of the single core, which if you go on Cinebench, why am I saying this? If you go on Cinebench, it's the same score. This CPU has the same score on Cinebench that the HP Omen does, right? The laptop, that laptop right there. It's 135, and this is also 135. But that V-cache for games like this, games that are limited in their rendering pipeline to a single core for the game logic, like World of Warcraft, this is extremely important, and the V-cache pays dividends. That's why I think it's very important to, look, I'm going to keep this computer for another 2 months. If HP comes out with a laptop with a 99, a 9955HX CPU with a 3D V cache, I'll probably trade that in. But I only got 2 months to do that, which is fine. Another thing I want to point out, on Cinebench multi-core tests, the CPU in my HP Omen outperforms this CPU. But then when you go on Fortnite, that CPU is maxed out at 80 to 100%, while this one is at 50 to 60%. Okay? Just, yeah. Look, nothing really comes close to this guy, okay? And I really, really believe in the 3D V cache, and my experience with the Omen has kind of reinforced that. But yeah, anyway, look, all in all, the HP Omen is a fantastic laptop, but this level of scrutiny is very important because the HP Omen is $3,300, right? Let me get it here. The HP Omen is a very expensive laptop. So, you know, you want it to last you a very long time. I've had my Alienware I have an Alienware laptop, the 17-inch R2 or whatever. I've had that for 9 years. And the CPU was that laptop's Achilles heel, the Intel CPU on that. And I don't want a repeat of that on this. And if I'm seeing this CPU struggling in large cities with World of Warcraft, and at 100% sometimes on Fortnite, when I know it has already compiled and rasterized the whole map, so it's basically just processing the game logic, it worries me. I think if you can wait for another Intel generation, or if you need something in the short term, wait for the 9955X AMD CPU. You're going to have very similar multi-core and single-thread performance on benchmarking utilities, but that 3D V cache, I believe, will make a world of difference. And it should run a little cooler as well. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that's kind of my review of the HP Omen. And I think I'm going to put out 1 or 2 shorts as well on some gameplay I got last night with my phone as well. But sorry for the terrible review, but this is just kind of like a real-world hands-on here. And I'm not a YouTuber or anything. I just wanted to kind of help people make an informed buying decision. I love the industrial design. The build quality is fantastic. It has a lot going for it. All right. But, yeah, just want to give you a heads up on the CPU. Alrighty.